So welcome back to the channel. I'm Richard Murray, professional South African triathlete, and this video is all about running. How many kilometers should you run in a week? Or you're a beginner runner, or you're an intermediate runner, or you're an advanced runner. How many times in a week? Frequency should you run? Should you run every day? Should you run twice a day? Should you run 200 kilometers a week? We're going to go through all these, specifics shortly. And yeah, if you're a runner and you can take something from this and you enjoy watching my videos, please remember to smash that like button pretty hard so the algorithm of this video takes off. And yeah, it'll help the video all that much, as well as subscribe if you can. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy my videos, that would be great.
Go, end it.
So yeah, let's head on straight to number one. We'll head through to the beginner side of things. If you're a beginner runner and you've just recently started out, what sort of distances should you be running? How many times a week should you get out the door, lace up, and go for your usual run around the block, or perhaps even a long run? And this is very, very specific. So it depends on how long you have been running for. Maybe you've been running for a year or two at a very easy level. Maybe you're just starting out. And I think it's very important to not, overdo things in the first few weeks starting out running. It can be very heavy on the joints. Not everyone is perfect running style or a runner. So yeah, it's just good to go out there to make sure that the first couple of weeks when you get into running as a beginner, you're running within your limits. You only running maybe a couple times a week, maybe 2-3 times a week per se, if you're a real beginner. And you're never over tiring yourself, or kind of pushing yourself too far or too deep in the weeks when you're starting as a beginner. I've seen a lot of people starting out and looking up online and seeing the amount of massive mileage that some of these professional top runners do. You don't need to be doing those crazy miles to be able to get fit and to be able to be a reasonable, competent runner. I remember when I started out, it was running 5 kilometers, 4 or 5 kilometers every single time when I was a junior. So it was nothing super crazy, but the frequency of it is the most important. I find if you can run, say, 4 or 5 times a week at less of a distance, it is better than running, say, 2 times or 3 times in the week at a much longer distance. It definitely helps your body, the frequency, to just get your metabolism going. It helps you lose weight as well every day when you kind of have that frequency of running. And it also gives you some motivation to get out the door and to go and run every day. So obviously, the more frequency you have, the better runner you can become at the end of the day as well. So yeah, for beginner runners, I would say anywhere in the region of probably 20 to 30 kilometers, all the way up to about 50 kilometers for some beginner runners. I think that would kind of be a good range for you to start out at, just to make sure that you tick obviously some long runs. So perhaps on the weekend you can get a long run in. It's very standard for runners to do a long run kind of in the weekend with other people if you can. It makes it more fun when you run with others when you do a long run. And yeah, in the week, perhaps, if you're just a beginner, maybe you could do one speed session or a little bit quicker run during the week. Also, some hill repeats or hill running is also very good once a week, just to get some strength and to get a little bit of speed going. So yeah, I definitely think it's good to mix up short runs, long runs, some hill reps, as well as some strides, a little bit of speed. Try and get kind of your broad range of different running abilities or sessions in during that week, even as a beginner, just so you can kind of have some fun. It makes it more interesting than just going around the block and just doing your same 5 or 8 kilometer loop every single time you run. So yeah, that would be all my information for beginners. Let's head straight on to intermediate runner. You've been running for a couple of years. You want to pick it up a little bit more. You want to add some volume. You want to add some intensity. This is the type of people that will be in the medium category. People that probably watch my channel, I would guess, would probably lie more in the beginner and the medium side of things, or intermediate side of running. I'm pretty certain there's a few top runners, maybe athletes that'll be watching my videos. If you are, thank you very much. I feel great when top athletes and them watch my channel. So yeah, thanks for that. And let's head straight through then to the advice that I have kind of for intermediate runners. Kind of the frequency thing, I'll stick with that exactly the same as beginner runners. You want to try and get perhaps a bit more runs in your week if you're an intermediate. So, kind of in the region of, I would say 5 to about 7 or 8 runs in the week if you're intermediate style runner. You could run every day if you wanted to, but it's always good to have a recovery day, perhaps 2 recovery days if you're a runner in your week, just to make sure that you don't injure yourself or you don't overtrain yourself. So definitely think 5 to 8 runs in that region would be good, depending on how much volume that you want to do in that week. I definitely think, for intermediate runners, they probably do anywhere from, say, 50 to 100 kilometers in a week. I would say as intermediate runners, if you're just running, you're not a triathlete or you don't do other sports, then kind of 50 to 100 is probably your intermediate distance. Somebody who's been running for a couple of years, more advanced, and yeah, I think that's kind of a good range. 50 to 100 kilometers is a good distance for you to run in your weeks. Obviously, you can have a few weeks that are lower than that range as well, just to kind of like super compensate after some weeks. I definitely think that's a good range for you to run in. Frequency wise as well, obviously, as I said, you want to keep that frequency up. Speed sessions, long runs, those always have to be in there, depending on where you are in the year. If you have some races coming up or not, you obviously want to, cut back a little bit on those long runs, and you want to kind of have a little bit more speed. So perhaps on the weekend, then you can throw in a speed session on the weekend, as well as a speed session in the week. You don't want to do a speed session every day. You don't want to be crazy, but two speed sessions in your week as an intermediate runner would be good. Some hill reps are always good. I always believe that running hill repeats gives you great strength, gets you really good form. And for an intermediate runner, I definitely think you want that strength, that you can obviously convert that into speed. And yeah, I think that's really important to make sure you have that strength element to your running ability, as well as your speed work. Obviously, the hill repeats can also keep you from being injured in some degree. It really helps strengthen your calves and your legs. So hill repeats, 2 speed sessions a week for intermediate runners. That would be my advice to you. And yeah, I think that's, definitely, you can add on a little bit more speed if you're an intermediate runner. If you've been running for more years, you have more distance under your belt than others, and you have more racing under your belt than others, you'll know your body a little bit better, and you'll know which types of sessions you enjoy. And I definitely think that if you can do, say, something along the region of 1 kilometer repeats, 2 kilometer repeats, or you can go on time-wise as well. You can do 10-minute, 20-minute blocks of tempo endurance running pace. That would be pretty good. It gives you a good aerobic capacity, and that can definitely help you if you have half marathon, 10K, or a full marathon even. This type of aerobic capacity running really does help you for the longer distance events out there. So we're going to head through to the advanced or professional level, or kind of top athlete style running. How much running do top athletes run, professional athletes? I'm a triathlete, so I run a lot less than professional runners do, but definitely kind of some of my biggest weeks is on the low end of a lot of professional triathletes. Kind of, I think 90 to 100 is probably my biggest run weeks I've ever done in my entire life. I once did 99 kilometers, and I did not go out the door for the last kilometer. Definitely, I think it's specific to the person, how much running your body needs to actually get really fast. And not everyone needs to be doing massive 150, 200 kilometer run weeks necessarily if they're a triathlete. But as a professional runner, the range that professional runners will train at, I've heard some distances over 100 kilometers to 200 kilometers. I've heard some runners even running over 200 kilometers in a week. And that is a lot. I think if you convert that to miles, it's something about 120 miles a week. Is a lot to be running as an athlete. That's every day. Professional runners run twice a day. Some of the athletes, some of them run longer runs in the week as well. They'll do more speed sessions sometimes as well, depending on the athletes. But yeah, that range of 100 to 200 kilometers is probably where a professional runner would lie at, and that's a lot of running, if you ask me. A lot of running. And I think that's kind of the reason why professional athletes are what they are. And I think, to be able to do that mileage, you definitely have to have the correct team around you. You have to have the correct nutrition. You have to have a lot of things going correctly if you want to run week in, week out at 100 plus kilometers a week. And so professionals will run, from the triathlon side. I can't say from a professional running side, as I'm not a professional runner in that regard. I kind of lie a little bit more in the intermediate running side of things than the professional side of running things. But definitely I've seen a lot more strength and conditioning. So professional runners do a lot of strength and conditioning work just to make sure that their legs are strong, they don't get injured. When you're doing a lot of run volume, you have to make sure that your technique and that everything is connected very well with your running, just to make sure that you don't get injured. The long miles, and that can give you lower leg injuries very, very quickly. And that's definitely kind of the range that the long distance runners will run in. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Yeah, if you can go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to this channel while you're here, that'd be super, super cool. The next video that I'll be putting out shortly is something very, very special. So stay tuned for that, and hope everyone has a great week and has a great day. Cheers.